Today I turned 18 years of age. And beforehand, I have asked myself 5 questions that I wrote down here that I wanted to know after I turned 18. And they're not really the most philosophical questions overall, but I just found them to be interesting, and maybe you can also pull something out of my answers that I'm going to give now to those questions. And the first question that I asked myself is, were you scared? Were you scared of becoming 18 years of age? For you, it could seem very silly, but actually, I was scared of turning 18. Why is this the case? It's because it felt to me yesterday that suddenly I have to discard something. I had anxiety, I had a very weird feeling. Now, suddenly, I'm turning 18, which is always for such a long time. It seems like this is the age you want to achieve. Now you can finally be free. You are legally, you are now a grown up. At least this is what you might think about this. And so it felt like a bit of pressure. Or I am discarding now my childhood. I'm discarding all this time that is now gone. Like something is now missing, which I can't get no more. Like my childhood, it's over and gone. But in reality, it's not really gone. My childhood is still there, and we're going to see on a later question. But there's this quote of, I don't really know who said it. It was a Stoic. I guess it has to be a famous Stoic, but I'm not really sure who said it. But it's basically going the following way. Today I escaped from anxiety. Or no, I discarded it because it was inside me. My own perception, not outside. And so did I. After I turned 18, I had no more anxiety because what is it? It's just another day in your life. And beforehand, I had anxiety about turning 18 because it felt like something is coming now. Like I need to fulfill expectations because I'm now legally, but it's all just in your perception, or it was all just my perception, and it didn't really mirror reality. Let's go on to the next question, which is stating here, do we now need to rush things? What I'm basically was trying to ask myself is if I need now to, I'm now 18, and there are many things coming up, like for example, my final exams, and do I now need to rush projects? Do I now need to try to get in as many memories, as many, I don't know, experiences as possible until I'm too old, which seems insane, but okay. I'm still young though. So basically, I would answer, yeah, that we do need to work now more efficient, more faster, but not to rush. Because to rush means for me that you're going all in, yeah, but you don't have a plan, you don't have a strategy, which then might lead to failure because you are putting a lot of energy in, but at some points you're wasting it or you are not working efficient enough. So this means, to answer the question more precisely, yes, we do need to act faster, more efficient, more precise, but we do not need to rush, and there's no worries because there's still so much time ahead and so many possibilities that are still coming. And talking about possibilities, the third question is actually, what chances or what possibilities do you now see in order to fulfill our goals? Because I'm now legal, I can work different. Okay. When I was 17 and didn't have full access or full control over my money, for example, I couldn't make certain contracts, which is now possible. Therefore, I can, for example, make contracts or buy certain, like, let's give an example, like I could buy the blue check mark on X. I don't need this, I don't want this, but I could do it, which would boost, for example, X account. Okay. Or I could use buy certain AI tools, which I don't need, but I could do this. And therefore I can act differently. I could, for example, also day trade now. Some people, they they actually mentioned it to me. Now you can open up your trading account, now you can do day trading. I could do this. I'm not very good at day trading, so this would make no sense because I would most definitely lose money. So yeah, I do have more possibilities, but it could also mean that I'm losing more money because I'm thinking I can now do this, but this doesn't mean that I have to do this because I could also drink alcohol. I could now smoke legally. It is possible when you're 18, not like in the USA when you're 21. But I don't need to do this. I don't have to do this. I don't want to do this. So yeah, there are possibilities, but there are also things that you just don't need to do. The fourth question mentions or asks if I'm now a grown up, and my answer is hell nah. I'm not a different person to whom I were yesterday. I'm still the same person. I still have the same sights on the world. We're going to see this on the last question also. I am still a kid, basically. I'm still very childish in some extents and sometimes act emotional, but I can also act rational. I'm not very grown up, but I must say that even if you're 40, 50, there are still people, 60, 70, I don't know, there's still people that are not grown up. There are probably younger people more mature than me and elder people that are less mature than me, but also vice versa. So no, I'm not a grown up yet. I'm legally grown. Perhaps my biological age is mirroring this as well. I don't know. It could be younger, it could be older. Elder. I don't know. But no, I'm not a grown up. I'm still a kid. Still, as I mentioned, somewhat childish or childlike, because childish is not really the word I would say here. And therefore, I think that's cool. I think that's great. If I would be a very stagnant, rigid grown up, or the definition of a grown up, then I would think it would be a bit boring and not that very nice. So when you turn 18, you're not automatically grown up. And the last question, do you see the world with different eyes now? No. I do not see the world with different eyes. Because morals, views, worldviews, they form themselves over a long time, a long period of time. They will not change just because you turn 18 and you're now legal. So, as I mentioned, not really the most philosophical questions or the most sensical questions, but for me they matter. And I hope you have learned something out of this as well. Leave a like, comment, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Love you.